CQ, the old friends net. This is N4LQ, November 4, Lima, Quebec, and Shelby, North Carolina. The name is Steve. And we're opening the Old Friends Net, which meets here every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. and on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and on Sunday at 4 p.m., whatever time it is. The Old Friends Net is amplitude modulation only. If you can generate an AM signal, you are welcome to check in. It's a good place to find parts and discuss vintage equipment, which is our primary focus as a net. So, let's go ahead and start the roundtable now by checking in. Call in for LQ.
WB4ARK,
KN4R,
K4GDN,
WB4NKM,
WA4EVK,
W4MEC,
Okay, here's what I have so far. WB4ARK, KN4R, K4GDN, WB4NKM, Larry, good morning, and WA4EVK, Boone, and W4MEC. Do we have anybody else? Okay, well, today is the day for the Old Friends Luncheon in Spartanburg, South Carolina, at about 11 o'clock, 11:30. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. I am running this morning a Heathkit DX-60 and D104 mic, and I've already had the mic plug pull out on me. The trouble is the DX-60 is too far away. I need a longer mic cord, or I need to move the DX-61. But we'll get by okay. So over to Buddy. Good morning to you. WB4ARK, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Okay, Steve. Well, this area is a little bit foggy and very heavily overcast at the present time, although I was expecting it to be a little more clear today and no chance of rain, but I don't know what's in the prospect for the rain outlook today. We will take it as it comes. So with that, over to K4 GD and WB4, KN4R. Looking at the 5th. So KN4R, WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy. Very good. Good morning to everybody. WB4ARK in the group. KN4R. I'm on the GRC9 here in the handset and running about maybe 75 watts or so out. And everybody's sounding good so far. It's 56 degrees here in Sherrills Ford. And like Buddy said, it's 100% foggy here. Can't see too far, maybe a couple hundred yards at the moment. So anyway, looking forward to the Charlotte Ham Fest, even though it sounds like rain's going to cause it a lot of grief, unfortunately, but probably Friday is the best day, especially for people that have, tables this year. So anyway, over to you, George. K4GDN in the group, KN4R.
Okay, KN4R in the group, K4GDN, and the band seems to be in pretty fair shape this morning. It seems to be a little bit of QSB, but not bad, and receiving everybody okay so far. Buddy is a little, not Buddy, but Charlie's a little weak as normal. I'm on the BMW 5100B, and receiving on the HRO 5A1, the black HRO, and using the infed dipole, putting out about 100 watts from the BMW. So with that, I'll pass it on. Let's see. It goes to WB4NKN, K4GDN.
K4GDN. Okay, George, WB4NKM. Well, good morning to everybody. My name here is Larry. We're located in Wise, Virginia. All good signals coming to me. George, copy you fine up here. It must be riding on the fog, the signal. And we're running a Johnson Ranger, driving an 811 Maratron, running about 125 watts this morning. Weather here is 49 degrees. We've got light rain and overcast. We had that fog move in last night, but it's not as bad this morning. So maybe that's on its way out, hopefully. That's the story from here. Down to you, Boone, WA4EVK from WB4NKM.
WB4NKM. And the group, WA4EVK. Thank you, Larry. This is going to be the only one for me. I've got to changing my routine. Instead of going on to the luncheon, I'm going to decide to check in and then cut it short and go to the luncheon. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day for that. Looking forward to it. And I'm running a AF68 with a D104 microphone into an old Swan amp to a in-fed half-wave cut for 80 meters up about 50 feet. And with that, I'm going to send it on over to Charlie and make my exit. See you guys at the luncheon. W4MEC to take it. WA4EVK.
Okay, Boone, WA4EVK and the old friends W4MEC. Real good. We'll hope to see you down there. And short group today, so it probably won't go much past 9:30, I guess. Good morning, fellas. It's about 53 here, and I would say clear, but it's hazy, I guess, or foggy up. Has rised up. It's not on the ground, but it's not quite blasting sunlight out there, being filtered through something. So anyway, good day to travel to Spartanburg. Went out last night in that awful weather, and to celebrate a friend's promotion, I guess you'd call it. And it was a rough ride going up 191 there. So we made it in one piece. That's always good. So let me send it back to. I wasn't sure who was supposed to run the net. I mean, Steve. I think I was supposed to run it Sunday. I wasn't here. I forgot. I don't know what was the problem there. Yeah. So we got occupied doing something else and got here late, and I was supposed to run them all month on Sunday, but next Sunday I won't be here either. So I'm a slacker this month, but I'll be back in full force after this weekend here. N4LQ in the group, W4MEC.
Don't worry, we'll get you back. Is there anybody else that would like to check into the net? Call now, N4LQ. Yeah, small group this morning. Well, yeah, I swapped places with Dave because I guess he's got a longer drive and had to leave earlier. So that worked out okay. I'm waiting on Gary to come, and he'll be here. And John, KZ4B, is supposed to drive over here by himself. He's a little cautious about it. He's not sure he can make it, but he's got his GPS, and he said he'd call me if he needed rescuing. So hope that works out okay for him. Well, it was real foggy. I looked out the window over the lake, and it was just white. So that's, of course, that's where it ends up, I guess, and I think it's pretty much gone now, burned off, and the streets are all wet. I think we got a little, maybe around an inch of rain over the last couple of days, and then looking forward to another big one coming up here for the weekend. And then I looked at the forecast for next week. It looks nice as far as temperature goes until next weekend, and then there's more rain. So somehow the rain got settled in on the weekends. We're going to have to adjust that. But anyway, the net time, as you saw in the email, is going to remain at 4 p.m. on Sunday and 9 a.m. here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And whatever conditions come along, we'll probably won't notice a huge difference until a little later in the year, and then things will start changing a bit. So if it becomes necessary, we can make adjustments, but hopefully this will work out okay for us. So let's see, don't have any big projects going here in the shack. I've got 3 transmitters sitting here to my right, and a backup for the backup, and a backup for that too. So I'm all ready to go. Got a switch. I can flip them around any way I need it. So I just felt like running the DX-60 this morning and give it a workout. So Brian, that GRC9 is good and loud this morning. Sounds good. Like a GRC9 Honor, KN4R, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, very good. N4LQ in the group. KN4R returning, very good. Well, thank you for the signal report. Everybody sounds good here today, and it's fun to play with this GRC9 here. I've got another one downstairs that's working. I need to see if I can maybe adjust it so I can use it on 160 meters, because supposedly it's possible, but of course your settings are off the dials, but in the uncalibrated part of the dial, but I'll work on that when I can. I'm just zooming around here, just trying to find anything that needs to go to the Hamfest, and there's quite a few items here. I'm sorry I'm not going to make it to the luncheon. I keep making the mistake of setting up doctor's appointments on Thursdays. The way the VA is, if you ever have an appointment on Thursday, they try to keep you on Thursday. So I'll see if I can fix that. I have to go later today, at 11 o'clock. So anyway. But anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful luncheon, and I hope to see a few of you at the Charlotte Hamfest. If you happen to have something that you want to try to sell and you don't have a table, just bring it with you. I think we're like tables 71 through 75. It's about 2 or 3 rows from the front entrance. So over to you, George. And the 5100B sounds good. K4GDN in the group, KN4R.
KN4R, the group's K4GDN. And Brian, the audio sounds a little bit on the raspy side. I'm not sure if it's my receiving or if it's just conditions, but otherwise the band seems to be in pretty good shape. And I'm picking up everybody pretty well, with the exception, I think it's Larry, and you might correct me when you come back there. I believe your call was WB4 November Kilo Mike, and the name was Larry. I'm not going back to luncheon today, but I do plan to be there next month, hopefully. And we've got plans now to be at our RV park there in Roebuck, which is in southern Spartanburg County. So I should be able to make it. Anyway, as I say, I believe that the name is Larry, so it's coming to you. WB4 November Kilo Mike K4 GDN.
Okay, George, K4GDN from WB4NKM. Yeah, you've got the call right. The name is Larry. I'm located up here next to Kentucky, George, so if you're copying, we're doing pretty good this morning. Your signal on the 5100 is exceptional to be where you're at this time of day. I think it's working well on your end. It's not running too much power here, a little over 100 watts. So I failed to mention I'm receiving this morning on a Haberlin HQ170A. And Brian, the GRC9 sounds good here. You're almost 40 over. Steve, the DX-60 sounds real good here. I hope everybody has a good luncheon down there. I'd like to make that someday. Maybe we will. I've got the car out here early too. My wife's got a doctor's appointment in a town that's about 30 minutes away, and her appointment is at 10:45. So I've got to run through the car wash real fast and get ready for that to take her. But I've enjoyed being in here this morning, and we'll try to make it a staple. Thanks a lot for calling it, Steve. And I think Charlie's still in here. Is he still here? I talked to him. W4MEC. We'll say 73s to everybody. And look for you again next time. This is WB4NKM.
Very good, Larry. Yep, still here, WB4NKM and the group W4MEC. Yeah, I think a couple of fellas were going to Charlotte. I don't know if they left today. Might be a day early, but I'm sure they didn't want to come down this way and then turn around, go home, and go back to Charlotte tomorrow. So, well, maybe a couple fellas are not quite planning on being here today. So anyway, let's see, projects. I have to say, Steve, that DX-60 is probably one of the best sounding ones I've ever heard audio-wise. There's no hum, no nothing. It just sounds perfect. So whatever you doctored that thing with has taken very well. So I'm still tinkering with a couple things. I got my was playing with the 4673, the 28 volt 50 amp military supply. I was playing with that yesterday. I was checking them both out. I got one from Carl for RCW that was in his house fire and was apparently either underwater or was pretty well doused, and he had cleaned it all up. So I put the juice to it yesterday, and it took off like a scalded dog. Worked absolutely perfect. And then I got one. I think I bought it from Brian. I can't remember how I got it. The only thing I can remember now is Brian said it was on a little roll-around cart, and it's one that Brian had built to hold up some other kind of transmitter. He's saying that's why I remember I got it from him, because he said he built that cart. So. And I fired that one up, and it works really well, too. So one of them I'm going to donate to the B-17 project. The other one I'm going to keep and use there. And I do have a 150 amp switching supply I got that run just about everything, but this one is a lot more neat looking than a lunchbox, a silver lunchbox looking thing with with the power cord out one thing and two bars out the other for the 28 volt connection. So anyway, I hope to get that fire put in position and the ARC 13 dynamotor motor hooked to it. Yeah, I know, buddy, and get that fired up and I can get the darn HX50 off of my bench. That's giving me a hard time with that upper side being leak through. So anyway, I did find the crystal on a company called Netty Electronics up in Canada, and he's got a pretty big list of crystals. And he had, I think they're $2 a piece too. They're not very expensive. And he had a couple of, 3037s, and I emailed him, but he hadn't emailed me back. So I might try a new crystal there and hope it's higher in frequency than the one I got. So we'll see. Steve, N4LQ, back to you, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie, W4MEC, N4LQ. Do we have any check-ins? Call now. Okay, Nady Electronics. I just brought that up, and Netty, spelled just like it sounds. So that's pretty cool looking website. Kind of busy, I would call it. Junker radio parts and circuit board knobs and crystals cannibalized for parts. Thoughtful recycling for restorations and repairs. I sell knobs, crystals, meters, screws, hardware. Man, oh man, this guy is really into it. Looks interesting. And okay, on the HX50, I tell you what, I guess it's a labor of love or something. I tell you that I don't think I've ever heard one on the air. I had one for a while. I heard myself, played around with it for a while, and then got rid of it. But there's a lot of those old sideband transmitters, and they're not super good on AM. I don't know about that one, but most of them are kind of mediocre on AM, and they kind of, on sideband, they're problematic, sort of tend to drift out of alignment real quick. One of my first rigs after I got rid of my DX-20 was and got my general license in '64 was the Johnson pacemaker, and it had a phasing type sideband system, and you had to null the carrier out by 2 knobs on the front panel, and you would watch your play current as you adjusted those knobs for minimum play currents. And sometimes I would listen on a receiver and try to get it just right, but after a while it would drift back out of that setting. You'd have to kind of keep an eye on it, but I don't think anybody noticed it much because it was still much weaker than the sidebands anyway. And appreciate the report on the DX-60. Yeah, this is the one I've modified and put the DDS VFO on the front panel. It's I've got a couple of YouTube videos on it explaining how that was done, and I had a lot of trouble trying to get the hum out of it, like so many other people do, and I got it the best I could. Still had some, and then I fired up a powered amplified D104, and boy, that knocked it out. And it's the preamp is very sensitive, and if you don't have that just right, it can cause all kinds of hum. So that was my secret, is using the powered D104. And let's see, Cliff is at his railroad breakfast on Thursday morning, so he isn't here. And everybody else is sounding great here. So I've yacked enough. Turn it over to Buddy. WB4 ARK and 4LQ. I guess I missed it, but I guess he signed out. Brian, are you still here? KN4R and 4LQ.
Yeah, Roger, Steve. I'm still here. N4LQ in the group, KN4R. Yeah, I'm just scurrying around the shack here, looking through some crystals at the moment. Got about 20 hamband crystals, nothing, no 3715s or 3885s, but somebody might want some of these other crystals, so I'm getting ready to take them to Charlotte tomorrow as well. So I'm going to go ahead and say 73s. Hope everybody has a wonderful luncheon. Somebody take a few pictures, and look forward to seeing you guys hopefully at Charlotte. So I think the door is open for setup at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and the public gets in at 3. So 73s, everybody have a wonderful one, and good luck on projects. K4GDN in the group, KN4R 73s.
Okay, 73 there, Brian. KN4R in the group, K4GDN. And sure wish I could make the lunch today, but doesn't look like we can do it. Anyhow, the band seems to be in really good shape. I would be curious to hear what Dave would have to say about the sunspot activity. Anyway, I'm going to say 73 on this one, and I believe Larry checked out, so it's going to Boone, WA4EVK in the group, K4GDN.
Larry, are you still with us? WB4NKM, N4LQ. Well, I guess he disappeared, and then Charlie, I guess it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm still here. N4LQ in the group, W4MEC. Real good. Well, I did pick up a 60-second project at the same time. Somebody gave me a CB set to check out for him, and the problem is he didn't have the connector for it. It was in his truck, wired into his truck, and I have a old Midland that has that special rectangular 3-prong DC connector, and I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere for that thing. I usually put it in the Suburban when we go to Myrtle Beach, along with a 2-meter rig, and I spent a good day looking for that thing off and on, inside, outside, in the car, and finally I found it in one of the Ingalls milk cartons, one of those cube milk cartons with the antenna, down sitting on the floor with another Ingalls milk carton on top of it full of stuff with another box covering the whole thing. So, and it was in a corner where I couldn't see the antenna sticking out. So anyway, well, I was glad to find that, and now I can power up his little radio and see what's wrong with it, and hopefully nothing. Those things, at least it's an older model that actually has things you can repair and replace. So anyway, I'll check it out for him and get him situated. So anywho, let's see, with all of this, I would think with all the discussion about the government wanting the ability to totally shut down internet and Wi-Fi and all that I've been reading about, that maybe CB radio make a comeback. We'll see. All right, thanks for running the net here, Steve. I'm going to bow out too and get ready to get out of here. I'm going to go pick up Carl, W4RCW, and we'll be heading down to the lunch there. So we'll look for everybody on this, at lunch. And the rest of you, we'll talk to you on Sunday. 7-3 all, N4LQ in the group, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie. We'll be looking forward to seeing you and Charlie there at the luncheon, and get some chicken liver and whatever else they have to offer, and some of that cheese broccoli soup. That's my favorite dish. That's the cheese broccoli soup and chicken liver and a cup of Golden Corral coffee. That's all you need. So we'll see everybody there that's going, and the rest of you enjoy Charlotte Hamfest. I hope to be there too, 73s, and we'll go ahead and close the net if there's no further business. This is N4LQ saying 73.